Let's get started. So the objectives for this class today are that you guys will be able to send and receive text messages, make and receive calls, customize some of your settings, and become more familiar with your phone's layout. So to start, I'm going to be talking about the actual physical phone and all the buttons that are on it. So you have your power button, which is on the right side of your phone. It's the biggest button on your phone. And that will just put your phone to sleep like that. And then on the right side, it's the only button on the right side. And then you can also have that turn on your phone as well. Then there is the volume control buttons, which are on the left side. The bottom one turns your volume down, the top one turns your volume up. Sorry?
I can't follow you in the location. Oh, yeah.
Yours is older.
Well, it's
It should still be over there on the left side of your phone.
This turns it up, but
And then, sure?
right here.
Yeah.
This is your volume control.
If you power off with the
Okay, so
button
this
on the
turns it
right
up
side
and
of the
down.
phone,
This is your power.
does that shut down battery usage so you
Volume go
can,
up.
so your battery
Go like
lasts
that,
longer?
volume goes up.
So if you turn off your phone, your battery will not be running, so because your phone's not running.
I'm not using it, just turn it off.
You can do that, but I'll show you something a little bit later that might be more helpful as well.
Okay.
The next button that I'm going to be covering is the master volume switch, which is directly above the volume up button. It's a little switch. There's a little orange coloring inside when you do switch it. So if it's switched forward, you will get sound coming out of your phone from notifications. So if you're getting a phone call, you will hear a ring. If it's pushed to the back, your phone is then on silent mode, so you will not have those sounds when you're getting a call or a text. Next thing is the front-facing camera. And the front-facing camera is directly next to the little speaker that's up in the top middle of your phone. It's a little hard to see, but it is there, I promise. And then the next thing is the home button. The home button, if you have a newer phone, they don't come with a home button, but if it's an older one, it's just right down in the bottom middle, right here, and that will bring you to your home. But if you do not have a home button, what you can do is swipe up from the middle, and that will always take you to your home screen. And then, of course, we have the back-facing camera on the back of the phone. And then the charging port, which I'm currently using on the bottom of the phone.
Is that the camera, the larger of the two dots back there?
The bigger one, the black one is. The smaller one is actually a flashlight or a light to take your camera, or to take flash photography.
What did you say about the larger button on the back now?
That's not actually a button, it's a camera. It's your back-facing camera.
Julie Carney.
Oops.
It's okay.
I should just push my little button down so the
Yeah.
red shows.
Exactly.
Tell me, I have two things on the back.
Sure, so a lot of the iPhone models have different cameras.
I have
So anything that's on the back of your phone is going to be a camera on an iPhone.
That's your back camera.
Yep, and the reason why there's multiple lenses
How come
is
I have to keep
because
putting this in?
some
It's a
of the
security
iPhones have
Yeah, but
wide
put it in
angle
3
lenses
times.
as well as
Security.
just a regular
So
camera
You
lens.
can have it so that your screen doesn't lock.
See, I
Nice
push
question
this
about
when I take a
camera
picture.
dot. I don't have that dot, but I have a picture of
Oh, I see.
the icon, and it
Yeah.
has a dot on it. Does that mean something? I've never noticed it before, but I just, well, let me see if it looks at me. No, it doesn't.
The
I don't know what
dot.
it is.
You want to show
I
me
don't
really
s-
quick?
Yeah, I don't see that little dot at the top. Is that a dot? I don't know, maybe it's always.
Oh, that's just always
Nothing.
been there, yeah.
Okay.
It's part of the icon design. You can use your home button so you could swipe up from the middle or press your home button.
It just started, right? Because I couldn't get parking, so I came late.
Yeah, no worries. So all we've covered so far is the buttons and everything on your phone, and that is included in the packet that's right in front of you as well. Any other questions about your phone's layout?
I can't get rid of
Are
it.
they,
Try pressing the power button and just turning it off.
I did, and then when I,
That's why you have to.
Here, so what you could do is, you can just,
Okay, so another thing is, let's see your settings. If you need settings, you click here, but I want to move these settings.
oh, I'm not, oh, okay,
It
that's
should
why.
be, your settings should be on your
It
phone.
was
and I don't see
rotating
it.
for some reason.
Click the thing
how did you unrotate it?
I didn't, it was just
It's only
glitching
how your phone did it.
where I had to hit it from the side to use the home button.
I
Yep,
didn't do it. No, you're fine.
is there a flash, there's a flashlight in here, they say, but we've never been able to use it.
yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit when we get to our control center section.
What page are we on?
We're going to be covering the notification center right now, so it's page 4 in the packet.
How long is it?
So, in your notification center, to access it, or first I should tell you what the notification center is. So, if any of your apps send you any alerts, or if you get a text message, or if you have notifications set up for emails, that is when they will pop up showing a message that you have a notification on your phone. So to access this, you swipe down from the top middle, and this brings down, it shows you the time, as well as any notifications that you have.
The settings.
So
You get home.
you can scroll through all of these notifications. They will be hidden if you
Can I do it now?
swipe down like this, but if you want to see more of them, you can swipe up and you will see more. Any questions about the notification center? Sure.
If I swipe on the right hand side, can I access it or no? Suppose on the first notification, mixed call, how do I open that right here?
So you're asking how to open the notifications?
Yeah, right from here.
So if you want to open a notification, all you have to do is press on it, and it will take you to the designated app that the notification is from.
It's not, that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying, see, supposing I've received a missed call, right, missed call. So do I?
If you receive a missed call and you click on that notification, it will immediately start calling them back.
I
Yes.
won't do that.
Yes.
Ah,
Mhm.
But if I want to see the message,
That's fine. Go.
The
Missed call.
message, you can go to your
Okay, good.
phone app
Thank you.
and go look at the voicemail.
So it's nothing to do with like swiping it towards right and it will take you right there. It's not-
If you just tap on it like I showed you, so I have this notification right here, I tap on it, and it takes me to the article that I tapped on from the notification.
So the calls, it doesn't matter. These are all missed calls, so that has nothing to do with.
So
message.
if you do that with a missed call, it will start calling them.
You know, my daughter was complaining that I keep calling. My college granddaughter.
That's probably it.
Yeah, good. Because one time she doesn't answer and I must be accidentally hitting something. But
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
Okay, you just cleared my conscience. Thank you.
Yep. And if you do want to clear any of the notifications, you see this little X up here, you can get rid of that by section, or you can clear all of them at once.
The X, where's the X?
I don't have it anymore because I don't have any notifications because I cleared them, but it should be on the right side in the top right corner of all of your notifications.
Oh my
Close
gosh.
to where the battery symbol is.
No, it should be around like the middle area of your phone near your
Below the
notifications.
date.
Yes, below the date. All right, so this next section, or did we have any more questions about the notification center? All right. So next thing we're going to be covering is the widget center. Now yours might not look exactly like mine right now because it might not be set up, but I will show you what it can look like after you customize it. So in your home screen, if you swipe to the right, this is called your widget center. In your widget center, you can have it set up to have any of these icons in there.
To the right.
The widget
And
center?
so I've chosen to have my calendar, my weather, my batteries, some pictures, as well as some news stories and my screen time.
Oh, okay.
You can edit this by scrolling down to the bottom and clicking edit.
But we don't have it customized.
Okay, so if you don't have it
No,
customized,
how do we do that?
I believe does somebody have it really close to me that I can see?
I don't have anything on it.
Okay. You actually do. So, here.
I should probably get it.
Sure.
Fine.
So you actually do have your widget center, and you just have to click edit to be able to edit it. And so, has everybody been able to access the widget center? Is anybody having a hard time finding it?
If I want to add something.
Okay, but why is everything
Oh, I don't
jumping?
know, I just.
Oh, if everything is jumping, that means you're editing the layout.
Say again?
You're editing the layout?
Um,
Yeah. If everything's moving around. One of the very useful things about the widget center is that if you're in it and you swipe down, you have a search function where you can search the internet as well as anything on your phone, which can be very useful. So if I ever wanted to use the Google app and I wanted to search for it on my phone, I could type in Google
That's how I got your.
and it will show the top hits at the top, excuse me, as well as suggested searches, and then apps, settings, Safari searches, messages, where I mentioned Google. So there's lots of resources that you have available to you through the widget center.
How do you get rid of a widget if you don't want it?
So if you do want to get rid of a widget, you do have to go down to edit at the bottom, but for some reason, I feel like your phone might not be updated all of the way because you don't have edit at the bottom.
It says edit now.
Oh, it does now? Okay, so if you hit edit, you can,
Oh,
all of these icons start shaking. If you want to get rid of one, you just tap the minus sign that's in the little circle in the top left of each icon,
Yeah.
and you'd hit remove. And if you want to add any, at the top left corner, there's this plus button, and you can go through all of these widgets and add whichever ones you like, as well as move them around.
Oh, I see. So I want to add something, so I push the plus button and then,
Yep, push the plus button, select the ones that you want, and if you do want to move any of them around, just hold down on it, and you'll be able to shift how they orient themselves in your widget center. And once you're done editing your widget center, just click done. All of the icons will stop shaking, and then they're up to full functionality again.
I don't have done that, I've added YouTube now.
So
Are you turning off the wiggle part?
the widget part?
The wiggle?
Oh, the wiggle?
Yeah,
So here, I'll show you one more time. So I'm going into it. I'm going to where I'm editing, and then in the top right corner, it says done, and then it stops the
I
editing.
did this.
I just have a plus sign.
Done.
Oh, so you're good now. You can also hit the home button as well. Any more questions about the widget center? All right. So, next thing that we're going to be covering is the control center. The control center can be accessed from pulling down on the top right corner of your phone. So unlike the notification center, which is from the middle, you want to pull down from the top right corner. And it should look something similar to this, maybe not exactly,
Very bottom of the screen, go up.
but this is called the control center, and you can add lots of different functions into your control center. As you can see that I probably have some ones that you don't. So, ma'am, it's the top right corner, and swipe down.
What is that green circle?
The green circle is my cellular signal. Yep.
No, it's not. You
Oh,
gotta use your homework. That's-
Okay, so
You don't use your phone.
it might be, you might have to swipe up if it's the
I don't know why it's not happening.
No, I believe it. I think you're doing it too quick. Keep your
Okay.
finger on the screen, up on the battery.
Yes, so you have to swipe up from the bottom
Okay.
on your model, but that's how
On
you
your home
access
screen,
it.
okay, see, and then just go, and it pops up.
Mine is not happening.
So that second box, not
Sure, so I'll get to that in a second. So, sure, so, your model, it might be from the bottom, because you have a part. Yeah. Is she having a
She has an
hard
older, slash up.
Yeah.
Goes from the bottom, but she's
So-
moving, I know.
Oh, so we might not.
Usually it's what's from the bottom.
Yeah, I don't think it will be.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, so the notification center has a lot of functionality to it. So in the top right box, or in the top left box, I have options to turn on airplane mode, as well as turn on and off my Wi-Fi, on and off my Bluetooth, and on and off my cellular. And then to the right, I have a box that shows whatever audio is playing on my phone or has recently played. Then the lock locks the orientation of the phone. So, for instance, right now I don't have it locked, so I can turn my phone sideways and the screen will turn sideways. But if I turn this lock on, it will no longer turn sideways when I turn my phone. Then I have screen mirroring, which I'm currently using. to cast it to the Apple TV, which is how you're seeing it. There's,
What's that called?
it's called screen mirroring, but it's not used very often. So then, to the right of that, there is the brightness of your screen that you can change by moving that up and down.
It won't change.
To the right of
I would
that
rather have it
is your volume.
not change.
If you decide that you just want to do it really quick and not use your buttons, you can change it that way as well. And then this next part, I'm going to go into settings to show you how to get these other additions that I have into my control center.
1 minute, can I? If I want to, sorry, am I bothering you?
No, go ahead.
I want to disturb you.
Mhm.
I'm stopping here. Supposing I want to airplay on the TV from the phone.
Yes.
Supposing I'm watching a YouTube
Mhm.
and I want to airplay on my Samsung TV. How do I do that?
Sure. So you can, in the top right box, there should be a little, it should look like circles almost. It's where the little TV is on mine right now, right here.
You mean a triangle and, no, there's no TV on my thing.
It won't be a TV, but it should be something similar,
Okay.
circles.
Okay,
You'll click on that.
okay.
It will open up a menu similar to what you see right here. And it should show your Samsung TV as an available connection when you're at home and connected to your Wi-Fi.
Somehow it's not, it's saying iPhone and not playing something.
Yes, that's because you're not at home with your Samsung TV, so it won't find it.
So if I'm watching YouTube on my phone, I'm
Mm-hmm.
watching YouTube and I want to airplay, so then I'm on YouTube and then that YouTube will have that thing. iPhone?
YouTube will have an AirPlay button. It will look like a TV with a little bit of a change to it. Here, I'll see if I could just do that really
Thank you,
quick.
it's so sweet of you. I'm on YouTube right now.
Yep. And see the one that has it looks like a Wi-Fi thing in the TV? You'll be able to do AirPlay devices or AirPlay and Bluetooth devices. You'll do that, and that's how you'll be able to access a YouTube video on your TV from your phone.
So you have to click that Bluetooth and that, both at the
Yes.
same time. Okay.
All right. So, as I was saying,
Sorry.
if you want to add more to your control center, you can swipe over to your widget center, use your search function, and search for settings. That way, you don't have to search all over your phone for where your settings button is. You can just go over to your widget center and type search, or search for the settings app and go to your settings.
Settings.
Is everybody in settings?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
No.
Settings. Oh, yeah, you got.
type settings. Yes.
Maybe
Just
you
start
could-
typing it home. I thought I was supposed to find it. Stay right there, click on.
We are
Okay.
All right.
Because we know the
So now that we're in settings,
which-
if you swipe down, it will reveal a search bar at the top. And in that search bar, just type Control Center.
Settings.
At the top, huh?
If you have a Siri, a microphone, can you just speak it?
Yeah, you can do that as well.
Okay.
Is there a search bar on the top?
Okay, so.
So if you're in settings,
Okay.
if you pull down, a search bar will appear.
No, like that.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why on my phone. Well, that's a Siri search. Siri search.
Well, I can't make it happen.
It may be different if your phone is not updated.
It's not updated.
Mine just says, is this still your phone number?
In your settings?
Is that it? Right?
Yep, click on the app.
If you have an older phone, that doesn't.
It doesn't come up.
No.
Okay, so since we can't use the search function, if we're in the settings app,
Handicap, right?
just below general is control center.
What?
Which is.
Why is the phone?
It's easier for me.
Yeah.
No, it's not even updated. I don't have any.
So general is right above control center. We want to go to the control center.
Okay,
I don't know how funny it's not here.
right there, control center.
Okay.
Thank you.
And this is where you will be able to add or remove included controls on your phone. So in my control center, I have the flashlight, I have the calculator, the camera.
Oh, let's read this.
Then, as you were looking for, sir, this is the low power mode button. So if I have it on, it will save more of my battery life.
Where is it?
Okay.
You can add all of these in the control center in the settings app.
Where is the low power mode? Where is that?
You need to add it.
How?
There's an entire list of things that you can add to your control center, and you need to select that one if you want to have it in your control center.
What is it called again?
It is called low power mode.
Thank you.
Camera?
Okay, what do you do? It's here, it's all already here.
So if it has a red bubble next to it with the minus sign, that means you already have it in your control
I
center.
have a plus sign.
If you have a plus sign, you can hit the plus sign and it will add it to your control center. If you want to remove something, you can hit the minus sign and then hit remove.
So what does that do, adding that low power mode?
It uses less of your phone's battery when it's on.
Great.
Yeah.
I was in that mode and I hit the plus sign and it went away.
So
The low
no,
power-
it just added it to this other list.
To the top.
So here, I'll show you if I want.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
But it's showing a minus sign now.
Well, because
That's because it's added to your control
you
center.
wanted to get rid of it.
If you want to, yeah, if you want to get rid of it,
Minus,
you'll
get
hit
rid
the
of
minus.
plus.
Thank you.
So I'll just walk you through the other ones that I have on my phone. I have an alarm, I have a timer, I have a QR code reader. The one
Can you,
in,
excuse me, is that QR code reader in that list?
yes,
Okay.
so
I don't
it is
have it.
code scanner. That's what it's called.
We don't need all that.
And in the bottom left, I have screen recording, so if I hit
Well,
this,
you have an older.
it will, okay, I can't do it while
I'm
I'm using
Talking about it or no?
You don't
the,
have it, but you could download it.
technology to stream it, but
What do I do? Just
Look
close
on the
it.
phone.
if you do that on your phone,
What?
then you'll be able to record whatever you're doing on your phone,
Yes, it is.
and it'll save that as a video.
Bottom.
I have, this one will allow you to put on background noises if you want.
Sorry, which one? Sorry, what are you saying? Sorry.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
I'm just showing
what he has on it.
more control center things that I
Okay,
have
so what
on.
did you say you missed it, sorry?
And then there is Shazam, so if you ever want to, if you hear a song while you're out in public and you don't know what it is, you can use Shazam. It will listen for it and tell you what the name of the song is as well as the artist.
It's called a Shazam?
You may not have it.
It is called music recognition.
Okay.
in the
Tell
controls.
Oh, again, I have to add that.
So you have all these things.
Okay.
Please tell me what you guys have.
All right.
And if you-
So any more questions about the control center?
But these are things-
What's a dark mode?
Dark mode will just make your apps dark instead of light.
It's gonna come up.
What else is more useful in this? Supposing I want to stop the alarm, how do I do that? Like
You
I-
just have to hit the notifications for the alarm.
You have to make sure that your finger is right there, not any of these things, because otherwise you're gonna do what you did before.
All right, so we're all set with control center?
We want you to do it. Take it
Great.
Very slowly.
So
You gotta, yes.
next thing, just hit the
No.
settings button in the top left.
Do it, 'cause I'm
If you're
home.
still in settings, if you're not in settings, please go to the settings app.
Very
My finger will fit in there.
Sure, well, mine does.
And from here,
Also, you might
we're
want to
going
get
to
those,
be covering changing your wallpapers if you would like to.
Get one of those bamboo things.
So you can either
And just go like this.
search for wallpaper,
Very slowly.
or it is below
You know, so you're doing it.
accessibility and above Siri search.
Now you're getting Siri, just tap, okay.
So there's something called wallpaper.
Yes.
So hit on
You're
that?
gonna get one of those.
Sorry?
styluses.
Should I click on that?
Yes.
Stylus.
Yeah.
You should get one, if you figure you can get in there, get the stylus.
So-
and put up.
Here,
You gotta go under
you
this.
are able to
Under the blue?
change your wallpapers so you can, if you're updated to the newest version of iOS, you can have multiple wallpapers. But
This is how you get.
if not, you can customize them. Yours won't look like mine if you're not updated to the newest version of iOS because there's a lot more
Where do
customization.
I get that?
Just go to Target.
So,
and say, "Use stylus for my
if
phone."
you
There's
are
a bamboo thing.
updated,
A lot of
you
bamboo
can
things.
Change
Then you can.
a lot of stuff on your
Okay,
phone.
okay,
So
good.
you can have it present the date in a certain way. You can change font colors. You can add widgets onto your home screen.
How do you update it? I mean, where?
We can cover that after the class. You can also change the pictures. So in the bottom left, I hit the icon with the pictures, and you can select anything from any of your pictures to be your background. So if I wanted this picture to be my background, you can crop it, you can zoom in. You can also change some of the visual settings by just swiping left and right. And you can also hit cancel or done when you are done customizing your wallpaper. You can also do this to your home screen where you can change the background as well. Alright. Any questions about the changing your wallpapers? Alright. So the next thing we're going to be covering is the sound settings. So if you hit settings in the top left corner, you'll be taken back here. And your sound settings are just below notifications and above focus.
Oh, this is it. Thank you.
Or you can search for sounds as well. So sounds and haptics.
Thank you.
So
Again.
this is where you can choose to change the ringtones that you have, your text tones. You can have your or you can edit how loud your phone is. So, no, that was me. Yeah. So, if you scroll down a little bit, and you,
How can I make this
She
louder?
could get it.
Wait,
Oh, wait, never mind.
Okay.
okay. So, if you see keyboard feedback, if you click on that, you can have the sound and the haptic on, or you can off. If you have it on, that's when you'll have the clicking sounds of when you're typing on your phone. The haptic will give you feedback through the form of vibrations every time you hit a keystroke on your phone. And that is only on the new version of iOS as well. Any more questions about editing your sound settings at all?
Why would you have that haptics on? Do people really want to hear?
It's similar to, you know how like your laptop keyboard, it's a little flimsy and it's a little less reactive when you're typing on it compared to a regular keyboard. It's more of just like getting that feel of hitting each keystroke
Keyboard
if
clip,
you
you
want.
want a keyboard clip, you put it
Yep.
on. And a lock
Why don't
sound
you
when it
add
unlocks.
a ringtone
So if you want that,
from
yeah, system
an
like
audio
this,
file on the
it's
internet.
lock sound needs to come on the
Interesting.
same way. Well, when you lock it, it'll make a noise. Also keyboard if you want it when you tap.
No, I have never
So
tried.
if you want them on, you have to
but-
click them. But if you don't want it on, just leave it.
I'm sorry, I don't know
Okay.
the answer to that
Okay.
question. So, sorry about that.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Any other, you did?
No, I haven't, and I will.
Okay. Any other questions about sound settings? All right, so head back into this part of your settings app. And we're going to be going over notifications, which was just above the sound and haptics. So
So go back, so anytime you see that, just go back. Okay.
everybody in the notifications section of the settings app. So here you can choose to display your notifications as a count, which will just tell you, you have 10 notifications. If you have it in a stack, it will designate them by app, and you can then click on whichever app has notifications, and it'll show all of the notifications.
It just said notes.
So this is the way.
But it will be hidden unless you click on it.
Are we supposed to have that display as? Because I don't.
Oh, you got it.
Your phone might be
You got it.
not updated all the way,
You gotta click
so you might not have as many customizations.
This is how you customize it for, you're gonna do per app.
Okay, gotcha.
It's just not, you can't.
So if I have lock on, notification on and banner on, is that okay? So you have them ticked.
So are you guys in specific apps right now?
Okay.
I think she's asking, what does scheduled summary mean?
So scheduled summary will give you
So you have to do.
a summary of all of your notifications at a certain time of the day. So, for instance, you could have a scheduled summary for when you wake up in the morning, and it will give you all of your notifications in a different way than it would normally would in the morning. It's not very useful, but
Doesn't sound like it.
no. So count, stack, and list.
Is it?
The list will list all of your notifications. The stack will just show the most recent notification as well as that you have more from that app, and the count will just tell you that you have this many notifications right now.
I don't have that feature. Old phone?
You have to go per app.
Why?
No, not yet, Annie.
Not yet.
No, so
Summary
see,
schedule. It's at the
see,
very top, it's summary schedule,
So should I
right?
turn it on, right?
Scheduled summary.
Scheduled summary. So you gotta put that on, right?
I see.
No.
I have it.
No?
no,
Well, if you want it, you.
if you want to, you
Yeah,
can,
okay,
yeah.
so,
You don't have to have it on, no.
no.
You
Well, if you don't
can,
want it,
if you get a notification while you're in your
I don't need any
phone
more interruptions.
and
then you can continue if you wanna do it.
you want it to pop up at the top while you're in your phone, have show previews on when unlocked, or always or never. So if I were to get a message right now, it would pop up at the top, and I could either click on it and it'd take me to that app, or I could swipe up on it and it would dismiss it. Screen sharing notifications, you probably don't have to worry about that.
What does
So
that do? Screen sharing notification.
it just tells you that you're using, or it will turn off notifications if you're presenting something like I am right now.
It's saying allow notification, that's all I have a choice.
Yes, so it's not really something that you have to worry about unless you're going to be presenting in front of a group of people like I am right now.
So then you have to turn it off when I'm presenting?
Yes, I have it off so nothing will pop up while I'm presenting. So you are then also able to customize this for any of your apps. So if you only want apps to show up on your lock screen, you can disable these notification center and banners. So the banner is similar to what I was talking about. If you have your phone unlocked and you get a notification, it will show up as a banner at the top of your phone. If you only want it in your lock screen, select only the lock screen. If you want it in your notification center, you can select the notification center. You can also change the banner style temporary, meaning that the banner will eventually go away after a few seconds. But if you have persistent on, it will stay at the top of your phone until you either swipe it up or go to that notification.
Where will I see that banner?
At the top of your phone when you get a notification. See, it kind of shows how it looks when it pops up. It should just show up at this section of your phone when you get a notification. So, any other questions about managing your notifications? Great. So the next thing that we're going to be covering is your Face ID and passcode. So that is just below Siri and above emergency SOS. I'll show you right here, Face ID and passcode.
1 second, where is it?
Right here, Face ID and passcode.
Touch ID.
I don't see.
Under settings.
No.
No, it's on the phones.
On my phone it says touch ID and passport.
Yep, that works as well. If you don't have,
Siri.
if you have a button, it might say Touch ID. So we're going to go into that. It will ask you for your passcode. So I'm gonna put mine in. And here is where you can set up where you want your Touch ID or Face ID to be used. So if you want to unlock your phone with Face ID, you can toggle this on. If you wanted to use Face ID for your Apple Pay or wallet, or any purchases, or if you have passwords saved on your phone for certain apps, it will prompt you to open it with Face ID. Sure.
So I don't have the use Face ID. Is that because my operating system hasn't been updated?
I believe it's because of the hardware in your phone. So just because you have an older model,
Yeah.
do you have Touch ID on your phone by chance? Because
Yeah, I have Touch ID to
Yeah.
turn my phone on.
yeah, so it should be in this section as well. Because the Face ID is basically just a more updated version
Yeah.
of the Touch ID.
I don't like seeing erase all that data on this phone after 10 failed passcode attempts.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yep. So you can have it ask for your attention if you're using Face ID, meaning that your eyes have to be open and somebody can't just take your phone and get you while you're sleeping. You have to be paying attention. And you can also change your passcode. I have mine so my Apple Watch will unlock as well if I have it locked. So you can turn off that erase data as well if you don't want it on there, but you can also turn it on and it will wipe your phone if there's too many failed attempts at getting in. Any other questions about setting up your Face ID or your passcode?
Supposing I want to set up, I don't like to show my face every time, but supposing I use my phone, so I have a passcode, how can I add one more thing, like,
You want a second passcode?
not second passcode, what, I mean, I don't have my face, right, on my phone, so what else can I add? Supposing I lose my phone, that's the idea. So what, they have to first enter my passcode, what is the second option?
Touch ID? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, I mean, I've got a passport, what is the touch ID?
Touch ID, if you still have a button on your phone, it will read your fingerprint instead of your face. Instead.
So I want to put fingerprint in, what do I do?
It should give you an option to set up your.
Add a fingerprint?
Sorry?
Add a fingerprint.
Yes,
So
if you
just
do
click on it?
that, and it'll ask you to put your fingerprint on the button, and it will read your fingerprint and save it, and that will be the replacement to your passcode.
I don't want to replace it, I want to add it.
Do you know if the Face ID is pretty good? I mean.
It is really
Do you
good.
use it?
I use it all the time, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What is a face ID? What is that?
So if your phone is new enough, you don't need to have Touch ID, and it will just use your face to unlock your phone instead of your fingerprint.
How new does it have to be? Is it just the last one or 12? Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
I'll try to see.
I don't know
I'll
off
find
the
out.
top of my head, but
I have an iPhone 7, so it's old.
okay.
I have a 13 and I have that.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it a lot. I use it all the time. So
You don't have to remember some.
exactly, and it's hard for anybody else to get into your phone too.
Right.
So on the old phone, I can add a face ID, right?
You cannot. You can use Touch ID. So, everybody all set with Face and Touch ID as well as your passcodes? Great. The next thing that we're going to be covering is how to send a text. So in the bottom right on my screen, I have the messaging app. So we're going to click on that, and I'm going to first show you how to send a text message. To send a text message, you need to click this blue button in the top right with the pencil. And this should pop up saying new message. Here you can type in a name of a contact as well as any phone number that you want. So if I wanted to text my mom, I could type in mom
Where is the messaging icon?
Right there.
and click on her, and
Uh-huh.
I can send her a text. I can write hello, and all you have to do is click the blue arrow to send the text. And if you are updated to the newest version of iOS, you have the option of being able to edit text messages by holding down on them. You can also unsend a text message if you are on the newest version of iOS.
I'm sorry, how did you get to that?
Sure, so I text my mom hi,
Yeah.
and then I hold down on hi, and there's an option to undo send, and it will get rid of it. And it'll just say in the conversation that you unsent a message. Or if you edit a message, it will just say you edited a message.
You just tap on that hi. I didn't send it, I just said hi. So after sending it, you can undo it or?
If your phone is fully updated, you can. If it's not, there's no functionality for those features.
Anybody know what that sound means?
It means you got a message.
No, mine. Mine is on, it doesn't know where it's from.
I didn't know what it meant.
I just
So-
sent you one.
Oh, look here. No, you're right.
When you're home, you could.
So when you are texting people, you may notice that some texts are blue and some texts are green. The blue ones are only texts sent from iPhone to iPhone, and it's using their service called iMessage, which uses an internet connection to send the messages to one another, compared to the green text will be to people without iPhones, and you actually send the text message to them, compared to using your data instead with the iMessage.
So how do you avoid the sending? I don't want to use the data. How do you avoid that?
You can,
I don't want to be in blue.
let me see if you can do that. Oh, you could just turn iMessage off in your messages part in your settings, and they will all be text messages.
But I'll still be able to use that, right?
Well, if you turn it off, you won't be able to use it.
But then if I use it, I use internet.
If you're connected to a Wi-Fi connection, it will use the Wi-Fi connection.
And then not your data.
Yes.
What about WhatsApp?
WhatsApp is the same way as iMessage, where it uses the internet to send the messages. Any more questions about sending text messages? One more thing that I will add is that you can make groups by pressing the plus button when you make a new message, and you can just search and add as many people as you want. Uh-oh, I feel like I might have messed up my settings.
So if you want to send the same message to several people,
Yes, that's how you would do it. So the next thing that we're going to be covering is how to make and receive calls. To make a call, you need to go to the phone app. It's the big green button. And here you have a option at the bottom of favorites, recents, contacts, keypad, and voicemail. So in voicemail, it will save all the voicemails that were sent to you. Keypad, you can type in any phone number that you're trying to reach, and once it's typed in, all you'll have to do is hit the green phone button, and it will start the call. Contacts, you can search for any contact that you have saved on your phone. You can also add a contact by hitting the plus button and putting in any of their information that you want to add. Recents will show you who you have called as well as who has called you. If you want to call that person back or call somebody that you've called recently, all you have to do is click on their name in the recent section and it will call them. And then in the favorites section, you can add favorites by hitting the plus button and say, I want to add my dad. It will then pop up with these options. You can either choose to message or a phone call. Those options will let you
Message
immediately
or phone call?
pop to that. So if you do the phone, it will immediately start calling them. If you have it under messages, like I do for my dad here, it will just
This is other.
immediately go to the text conversation with
Yeah.
him.
Can I go back to recents for a second?
No.
I had some that are
Mhm.
black and some that are red.
So red ones mean that you missed
Oh,
that.
this one I would like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just hit it or?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to add a favorite,
Yep.
you hit,
The plus button in the top left,
okay,
and then search for that person's contact. So, just like I have on my screen, then you'll hit that person's contact, and you'll select either the call or message. If you want to be able to call them, you just do the call one, and then it should show up in your favorites. And then when receiving calls, it will pop up on your phone. You can silence a call, meaning that it will stop ringing by hitting your power button. You can answer the call by hitting the green button that shows up, or you can send it straight to voicemail by hitting the red button. There's also one other option that will be to respond via text, and you can do that as well, and that will also send them to voicemail.
I don't have that screen.
You won't have any of these screens because it only pops up when you're receiving a call. Any other questions about using the phone functionality of your iPhone? All right. So next thing we're going to be covering is accessing the internet. So
I do have a,
Sure.
Okay, when you hit the green button and or green phone, when it's, and when you hit the red, if you hit the red, then you're calling them, right?
So I'm talking about when somebody is calling you on your end. So if you're receiving a call, your screen will change and say the contact information's name, and then in the bottom, it should have a green button and a red button, and a gray button if your phone is updated. The green button will accept the call and you'll be on the phone with them. The red button will send them straight to your voicemail. And the gray button will give you other options to let them know, like, I can't talk right now. It'll send that as a text.
How is that, the last one?
It will just give you options to respond to the person without needing to pick up the phone call.
No, I'm on phone option. This is favorite, recent, contact, keypad, and voicemail. So now what?
No, it's when you're getting a phone call.
Okay.
Yes. So next thing we're going to be covering is how to access the internet. Every iPhone comes pre-downloaded with Safari. You can search for Safari in your widget center. You can also just look for it. It is the compass looking application. So this one, if you're looking for it in your homepage. So if we go on Safari, we can access the internet. You can use search or just put in a website name. So if I wanted to go to Gmail, I could go to gmail.com and it will bring me to Gmail's website. If you want to have multiple tabs open, or you have multiple tabs open already, you can hit in the bottom right corner, there's a square on top of another square, you hit that, and if you want to add another tab, you hit the plus button. You can also make them private tabs. And that's about it for, oops. That's about,
The square on top of the square and the, okay, how do you get that to come up regularly? Because I just sort of bang around until I finally get it.
so
The book club
you mean,
in the library?
So that I can either look at the tabs I already have, or I started new one,
That's not.
you should just have to hit the button in the bottom right.
They don't.
I don't have a button on the bottom right.
But hit
Hit your
friends
boxes.
Oh, it's because your phone isn't updated. Trying to think of how
That's okay,
you
I'll
store
figure
it.
it out.
So I also have square and square and the book thing open and then the forward.
Sorry?
Maybe it's not able to see. I have square on square and the book like.
Yep.
So we do.
So if you want to add a tab, hit the square on square one, and it should pop up similar to this where you can add a tab or select between the tabs that you have open. This one will just, the book one is just bookmarks, so you can add bookmarks for your favorite websites if you'd like. And that's just an easy way to access them. Any other questions about?
I have a question.
Sure.
I guess I never quite understand tabs. I have 80 tabs open. I don't know why. I just never close anything. Should you close things?
You probably should, just because it does take up some of the resources of your phone.
Okay. So, all right, so I just X them out, but when I'm on something and I just thing and it disappears, it's not gone, it's in my tabs.
You're in Safari, that's really not your tabs, these are Safari pages you have open. See that X on? click
No,
on
I
it.
know, I can get rid of them all, and I do periodically go
But
through.
actually, in your book, it's gonna say, with the iPhone, I guess, they said that you can keep some things open, which surprised me, but they said if you close too many
You
things.
told me that about apps.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, these are not apps though, what you're looking at is web pages.
Tabs.
Yeah, but if you have too many apps open, they used to tell you had to close them. That's
Oh.
not true,
Okay.
which
Well, I don't
surprised
have
me.
that problem.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
surprising.
it's not.
So I
because-
guess my question is, so here I'm looking at a recipe, I don't wanna look at that anymore, I just close it and I turn my phone off.
It's still there though.
It's still there, so how do I
Yes.
get rid of it without, or do I have to go to
You
the
have to
squares
go
and
to
X
the
them all out?
tabs and
Okay.
X them out, yeah.
So it's not a good thing, I just wondered about that.
Because my Wi-Fi doesn't
More
work.
of those
And I
that
use
you
Safari.
the faster
You
your
have tabs
battery
open, just like
goes
on the
down.
internet.
Sense.
Just saving all that. information.
Sign out, you can't do it.
Yeah, I didn't really realize
She
that.
told me to just close them all.
Yeah, that's what I.
So the next thing that we're going to be covering is how to take photos. If
I know it.
you're like me and you added the photo button to your control center, you can just click that and it'll take you to photos. You can search for the camera app if you'd like to be able to access it, or you could just click on it
Log in.
in your home screen.
Homepage.
Yes. Or
So,
another way to access it is if you're in your lock screen, in the bottom right, there's the little camera. You can click on that
take pictures.
and it will access your camera as well
Very
very
nice.
quickly.
So you take a picture.
All you need to do to actually take the picture is press the button in the middle and it will take the picture. If you want to swap cameras, you have to press the button in the bottom right with the two,
Portrait. Self-portrait?
yeah. So this button right here will flip the camera that is being used. So if you want front-facing camera, or if you're on front-facing camera and you want back-facing camera, just click that and you will switch whatever camera you are using. And like I was saying before, there are wide and regular lenses on the camera, so that's the zoom option right here. You can change what type of picture you're doing by scrolling through these options. So you can do a time lapse, you could do a slow-mo video, you could do regular video, regular photo, portrait, and a panorama.
What is a panel?
So if you're trying to take a big picture of like a landscape, you can, it'll have you go like this with your phone, and it will put all of the photos together to make a really big photo.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
So any more questions about the camera app? Yep.
What does a double circle in the right upper corner mean?
Sure, so that means live or not live photos. So if you take a live photo, what it really does is it takes basically a 1 second video, but it will appear as a regular photo until the person presses on it, and it'll show the next couple seconds of what that person was doing when they took that picture. So if you do a live photo of your dog and they're moving around and you send it to your daughter or something and they hold down the picture, they'll be able to see the dog moving in the photograph if you have live on.
So it will be like a video for a second.
Yes. The top left is your flash, if you want the flash on or off. And so if you click the little arrow at the top, this will bring up your settings where you can do flash, your live,
Camera?
your ratios of your photos, as well as the exposure. If you want to do a timed picture,
The second button, right next to that flash, okay. 10-3 off is the same thing.
so I was accessing, what I did was I clicked this button up here. If you do that, you get all of these new options down here. And that includes the flash, the night mode, the live feature, the aspect ratios, the exposure, timers, and these will change the colors of your
I'm not getting
photographs.
it. I'm not, which button is that?
So, as I was saying, if you click the button in the middle at the top, that's where you'll see these options.
I'm getting HDR. The yellow button, like this.
Alright. And so from here, we're going to move on to accessing your photos. So if you did just take a picture in your camera, the easiest way to have access to your photos is to actually click the latest picture in the bottom left of your camera. That will bring you to that picture. You could click all photos, and now you're in your photo library. Or you can search or go to your Photos app, and this is where you will have all of your photos. They will be sorted by the date that it was taken. You can see locations of your photos, so if you want to search, like, I went to Austin, it will show me all the pictures that I took in Austin. You can also go through all of these categories in the search area as well. If people share photos with you, that will be in your For You section, in the shared with you. Any other questions about your photos?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, since my iCloud storage is full,
Mm-hmm.
so is the only thing, and I clicked on the other before, and they like want 99 cents a month to be
Yeah.
stored. Is that how that works? Either that or you clear out some stuff.
Yep. So, or you could, you'd have to clear out the iCloud stuff as well, because basically what it does is every time that you take a picture, it will back it up on iCloud. So it's basically taking up
Space.
yes. That even though it's on your phone, it might still be on your iCloud.
So they don't really give you much iCloud storage to start out with.
No.
Have you bought extra storage?
Yeah, I pay the $1 a month for the
Okay.
50.
Yeah, it was 99 cents, I think.
Yeah.
How do you turn it off, keep it from backing up to the iPhone? Because I don't think mine does.
Yours
I
doesn't?
don't think I've ever accessed the iCloud.
Let me take a look at it.
That would be the settings, maybe?
If you look up backup in settings, you can go to iCloud. I guess.
Okay, and if you want to next, just
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so if you go to iCloud in your settings, you can turn off your photos in your iCloud drive.
On my phone, it's go to settings and then go to photos, and it brings up another screen with iCloud on it with a green.
Yeah, but if you go to the iCloud settings, you can choose if files do in your Notes app as well. Yeah, it's just personal preference if you want to back up your phone or not.
Yeah, I don't have an iCloud setting on here, so I
Yeah.
have to go to the pictures.
So the way that you could get to the iCloud setting is from, you see where it says my name, Corinne Cook?
Yeah,
If you go click on that, there should be iCloud. And then
Oh, yeah,
you
okay.
can turn on and off photos and iCloud Drive.
yeah, okay, that worked.
Yep. So, any other questions about photos? You can edit photos as well. If you want to.
How do you do that?
Well, that
Sure.
looks familiar.
So, select a picture.
Nice job.
Thank you. And then hit edit. You can change the exposure. You can, there's lots of different settings. I'm not great at photo editing, but
See at the top.
at the bottom right is where you can, or the bottom right of the three options in the middle, that's where you can crop your photos.
Where, here?
The middle one will just change how the colors look. And if you don't want to make any of the changes, you can hit cancel, discard changes, and it won't do anything. But if you want to keep the changes, you just click done after you make the changes. You can easily share a picture by, oh, why does mine look there? Okay. So you can share, why is it doing that? Interesting. So it presents differently than it does on my phone.
Where do you share?
Take your dog.
It's my girlfriend's dog.
Where do you share?
Yeah, I see a squirrel out there.
So if you select a picture, it won't show it on the screen here, but there is a box with an arrow pointing out of it in the bottom left. That will always be your share button in anything on an iPhone. And you can choose to choose which contacts you send it to or which app you want to send it through, as well as any photos, any other photos that you'd like to add to the share. So any other questions about photos? Everybody knows how to access them and make changes? All right. But,
Well,
do you-
this isn't about photos, but you took us to iCloud, and I see I have all this stuff on. And I don't know why, like, why do I have Safari going to my iCloud?
Yeah, you don't need to.
I don't need that,
No.
or news or stocks, I don't do stocks, so.
Yeah.
So I can get rid of all that, and that should give me more room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And the next thing we're going to be covering is downloading apps. So you want to search for the App Store. If you can't find it right away, you can search for it. App Store. And the App Store is this blue app. This is what it looks like. So if you go into the App Store, here they have a news feed, which will give you their advertised apps.
iPhone Essentials.
Why can I not get it? There we go. So here they'll just advertise certain apps that are on the App Store. There's also only games. There's the apps section, which is pretty similar to the Today section, but a little different. It has, for instance, the top free apps that there are. And as you can see, some of these apps will say Get, and then I'll show you, let me see. See how Ableton says $5.99? That's how much that app costs. But if an app says Get, it means that it's a free app.
I see.
And if you want to download one of these apps, you will just click Get. It will ask you to confirm it. Once you do confirm it, it will start downloading. And then you will be able to just hit open, and you have the app now. It will show up in your home screen. You can move those around by just holding them down, and then you'll have access to editing where your apps are on your phone. You can remove an app from your home screen or delete it from just hitting the minus button in the corner of an app. So if you do remove from home screen, what this actually does is it doesn't remove it from your phone. It just removes it from the home screen. And if you swipe all the way to the right from all of your pages, you will have the app library, and that app will still show up in your app library. So as you can see, I have all of these food and drink apps downloaded, but none of them are in my home screen. So here in the app library, you have it broken down by sector, by type of apps, as well as being able to, if you click the search, it will show all of your apps in alphabetical order. If you do not have this app library, it is because your phone is not fully updated.
Okay, now, there. You're welcome.
So do we have any questions about downloading apps? Yep,
You have squares that are with multiple apps in.
sure.
What's the best way to break out one of those apps so it's by itself?
So what you have to do is open it, and then just like like I was showing you before, in order to move them, you just hold it down and you can take it out and move it, or you can make a new one by just putting it on top of another one. So see, if I do that, it'll make a new one.
Okay.
Yep. So, let me put this back. There we go. And then you'll hit done, and then you'll be finished editing the layout of your apps.
All right, thank you.
Sure. And any other questions about downloading apps?
When it shows the little cloud, does that mean, I guess I got rid of it, but it's somewhere?
So, the cloud just means that you have downloaded the app in the past, but because you haven't used it, it took it off of your phone,
Okay.
and you'll need to re-download it.
Okay.
Yeah. So a few of the suggested library apps would be Hoopla and Libby. So Hoopla actually, you put your library card in and you get 5 rentals a month, including ebooks, audiobooks, TV shows, movie, music. It's really nice, and you don't have to put anything on hold, which is also nice on Hoopla. But with Libby, you do. It works just like the library does, where you can put any books that you want to on hold, or if they're available now, you can have access to that and check it out just like any regular books would. And in Libby, you have unlimited access to that compared to Hoopla, which you only have 5.
Do you have to be a Downers Grove member? Like I live in Woodridge. So
Yes.
You do?
Yes,
Okay.
in order to use this, you have to have a library card and a pen. But your library probably has this too.
Yes, I know that a lot of libraries do use both of these.
Yeah, I'm in Indian Prairie, and I think we get 10.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, nice.
I use Hoopla all the time.
Yeah, it's a really great app.
If
Both of them are.
if you don't have a Downers card, but you're in the system, in the group, you can't access it.
no.
No, so you have to be a member of the Downers Grove. So your
Exactly.
library, Indian Prairie has it.
And then the last thing I'm going to be covering is some tips and tricks in Siri. So if you want to use Siri and you have a newer phone, you can hold down your power button and this circle will pop up and it will listen to everything that you're saying while you're holding it down.
Is there something else I can help with?
So if I want to ask her, like, what was the score of the World Series game?
The Phillies soundly defeated the Astros in Game 3 of the World Series by a score of 7-0 yesterday.
So you can ask Siri to do a whole bunch of stuff. You could have her set timers. You can have her send text messages, get directions home. It can be pretty useful.
So you said hit your power button, but if you don't have.
If you don't have a power button, it should be your home button.
So I just,
If you hold your home button, like, you're talking about,
No, you have to have things done. Hold it. You have a hold that.
I'm seated. This, oh, Safari?
No, right there. That's your home button.
Oh, that little line?
Yeah, that's your home
I
button.
never knew that.
oh, no,
I just
so
always swing it up.
it should be just being able to,
Just the button there.
yeah,
Okay.
that's strange.
Well, I don't know where I am.
Nothing here.
Couldn't you just say, hey, Safari?
Maybe I don't have her
So,
turned
Sorry,
on.
sorry.
you might, no, let me look into settings.
Settings. Okay.
Siri?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have it on. Yeah, you don't have it on.
I can decide if I
Press
want
side
to.
button for Siri.
Okay.
So the last
Put the hey Siri on.
tips and tricks,
I didn't.
I have covered a few of them, but
Can I do both?
a couple
Yeah.
more. So in order to take a screenshot,
That's important.
if you want to take a screenshot of whatever is on your phone currently, use the power button and the top or the volume up button and press them at the same time. And it will take a screen grab of your phone.
See, mine is ringer is coming on. I can never make it on ringer, but the ringer comes on.
Okay, she's not.
Power button is this right on the right hand side.
The right, it's the button on, the top button on the left and the button on the right at the same time. But if you have a home button, it is the home button and the power button to take a screenshot.
So, home and this.
It'll make a noise.
How many people can get this? This?
I covered how to
It's a new one.
move and delete your apps around. If you want to see what apps you have running, you can either double tap your home button or swipe up from the middle. And this will show all of the apps that you currently have running on your phone. And if you want to shut them down, you just swipe them up. But as Annie was saying, she found out that you don't really need to do this anymore. It actually takes more battery to restart the app now. So you're fine not doing that. If your phone is, if you want to access more tips, you can go and search for the Tips app,
Where is it?
which should just be on your phone. You can search for it in the widget center or in the app library, and it will have lots of different information about using these parts of your phone.
So I have to download the app called Tips?
It should already be on your phone.
But where? In the setting?
No, if you use the search functionality, you should be able to find the Tips app. All right. So, any other questions?
I still can't take the screenshot, I don't know why is that up here. Pushing this button and the top button cannot.
It's the power button and the home button.
I know, see, this, no, on the side.
It's not
of this-
working on hers?
No,
I mean, on the right and left hand side, right?
Chips down.
doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's wrong with your phone. Well, great. And so that concludes our class. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and ask me. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you for your patience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Shall I ask you personally, or do you want?
Yeah, sure, you can ask it.
Okay. Just when I download something,
Mhm.
I don't know where it goes.
Touch your phone on
So,
like.
are you saying like an app or
No,
like
a document. or
a
something.
document? So that will actually go in your notes app.
Notes.
Or,
Also, get-
actually in your files. So if you search files,
Make it, you know, with your, see, I have it somewhere.
Yeah. So, someone can help you with that, so press unlock and then you can put it in. But if you don't want your phone to close, just tap on it.
Well, I have things in there, but I guess I'll just have to play with it.
well,
Oh.
so if you search for files
I got that, yeah.
and you go in the files app, this is where everything that's downloaded
It
should.
should be.
Yeah.
And he put my.
And so how do you get rid of one, like I downloaded
Yeah,
some
it
five
doesn't
times?
work.
Sure,
Okay,
so
I've asked him.
Yeah.
if
Thank
I
you.
want
Thank
to,
you.
let's just
Well,
get
good,
rid
I
of
could have
this.
many times.
I downloaded them on my phone.
Oh, interesting. No, maybe I don't know.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, you know, I actually have no idea.
Because when I hit all the little, you know, lines at the bottom, it
Oh.
doesn't do anything.
Maybe edit.
No, I don't see it.
Okay, so,
Thank you so much for your help.
yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't even find it.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
Can I ask you last question? I locked that home portrait, I won't change it to, I forgot, sorry.
Sure, so in your control center,
One second, please. Control center.
No.
God.
if you swipe from the top right corner, or swipe up from the bottom,
Please go back to your desk, go back to your desktop.
One second.
Okay, you're gonna go.
So I looked at the
Yeah.
iCloud usage, and it says 2.5 GP to 5 GP used. So why are they telling me that it's low?
Yeah.
They were probably just trying to get you to pay for something.
Well, they're not backing me up anymore. They're not
No.
backing up my computer.
Yeah.
Well, look, do you have any idea what they're doing?
I don't know how to stop getting them. You're saying how to stop them from messaging you about
Well,
that?
from them trying to say that, and they're not doing,
Okay, so that's not gonna help.
and this is managed storage.
I'm just committing the receipt, that's all.
Okay.
I know.
If you plug your phone into your computer, it comes up as a hard drive.
Yeah.
You can go in and edit the stuff that's on there. If you go in and save all of your stuff that's in the cloud to a, say, a flash drive,
Yep.
then you can just clean out the
Exactly.
That if they
Yes,
said,
you could do that.
Yeah.
yeah, but still, look at that, 2.5.
Yeah,
Why are they telling me?
right here.
Yeah.
No, right
Are they cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so shocked.
So if you wanted to.
Thank you, you're right.
Thank you.
I thought it was somewhere.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody might complain.
I have a technical question.
Sure.
I run an electronics drop-off for a community. I'm taking all kinds of stuff. And I get iPhones in periodically.
Thank you, thank
The
you.
password's protected. Is there a way to
Like, come in and you help,
completely wipe
you know,
the
we have
phone
something called
clean
Book an Expert.
without having the
Come in and
password?
sit and they'll sit with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Full hard
Thank you.
reset on it without having the password.
Sometimes people complain
You
that it's
and me.
so I get worried.
I've talked to the Apple store about it, and they say it's not possible. You have to have the password to get into the phone to do anything.
He's
Yeah,
not patient.
I
Somebody
honestly
complained the other day
don't
about a
know.
person.
Yeah,
She's
sorry.
asking too many questions.
Because I get
I think.
really nice phones that are still usable,
Yeah.
but I can't do anything with it. They just go to the
He's
scrap
asking too
heap.
many questions, that's why he had to learn. Somebody complained.
On a Android phone, you
Some other
can get
place.
around it, but not on an Apple.
Yeah, Apple is like really concerned about people getting into their phones. They won't even let police get into their phones or anything.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Even when I went to the store and saw it, when I was texting people, like, he said, I can't even get past that.
No. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. This has been very informative. Thank you.
Good. I'm happy to help. Yeah. Right there's fine.
Yeah, are you-